How you doing? Welcome to Beach Investing. I'm your host, Andre Angelkowski, and today we'll be talking about emotional investing. Basically the importance of keeping positive cash flow a priority over emotional investing. When I talk about emotional investing, it means when you as a buyer go out and look for properties, you get emotionally caught up in the cosmetics of the property, or in the hope that this location is gorgeous, it's the best location, I think it'll go up in value. Or at least I'm hoping that it'll go up in value, or I know someone who's told me that this area will go up in value. That's emotional investing. It's okay to consider the emotions, the emotional side of buying a property, but as an investor you should definitely focus on the numbers side first and foremost. So for example, cash flow. That's the number one thing that you should probably be focusing on first before you start considering the emotional sides. It's good to use as an exit strategy, because when you're selling the property, of course, yeah, you would love to get the emotional side of things out there so buyers can get caught up in that. But as an investor, when you're buying things, you want to look at the numbers and focus on that first. The interesting thing about the Toronto beaches is that many people buy based on their emotions. And this can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. The bad thing is, if you as a buyer are going out there and you see a property that you like, and you're like, hey, the numbers work, it is a nice property, it looks nice, so the numbers, the fundamentals are strong, and so are the emotions. But now you are in competition because there's other people who see the emotional side of it, and they're willing to probably pay a premium for that property because their emotions are getting in the way. So that's when bidding wars start, and sometimes I know every investor hates being in bidding wars, because then they're not really buying the property at what they want to buy for. They gotta start competing and probably go for more than asking price. But with this hot market, that's what we're faced with, so we gotta work with it. So the good thing is when you are working in a hot market such as the Toronto beaches, you can use that to your advantage. So what I mean by that is, let's just say you have a property now and you want to plan out your exit strategy. So now that you know it's a hot market, you can stage your property or add value to it by doing some renovations to the property, where you know that you're going to be grabbing the emotions or focusing on the emotions of those buyers out there, because you know what they want. And if you get around in that area enough, you'll start to know what buyers are looking for. And I have a couple clients and people that I know that actually use this to their advantage. One gentleman's a flipper, and he uses a strategy where, I don't remember the name of this sort of technique that he uses, but on the ceilings he uses this covered ceiling where it's a little lowered and it's got little a frame around it, and it's got LED lighting around it. I don't remember the name of it, but it looks gorgeous. When you walk in this, you're like, wow, the family room, like, you're like looking up, you're like, wow. And the women, the women love it. They're like, oh my God, look how nice that looks. And they sort of forget about the rest of the house. You know, not the rest of those, but you know, they get emotionally attached to it. Or they see the kitchen, they're like, oh my gosh, look at that, that's my dream kitchen. I want the house. And I'm willing to pay, you know, what is it, $500,000? Well, bidding war? Oh my gosh, well, I'm willing to pay more. So as an exit strategy, sure, do that stuff and get the emotions stirred up, because it works. And that's one way of looking at it. The other way is another exit strategy, or no, sorry, not exit strategies, when you get the emotional side in your property set up and you start staging your property to make it look emotionally appealing, you start getting tenants wanting to live in your property. and instead of getting 1 or 2 or 3 phone calls, you're getting 15 to 20 to 25 phone calls because they emotionally love the way your property looks and they want to live in it, and they're actually willing to pay a premium for that place. So emotional investing, although as an investor for you guys, it may not be a good thing when you're buying a property because you're in competition, but look at the spin and use it to your advantage. Consider your exit strategy. Consider it when you're looking for tenants. So those are just some ways of thinking that emotional investing can be a good thing as well when you consider it in other ways. But overall, hope is not a strategy for success. You can't just hope things will happen. You should focus first and foremost on the numbers and the analysis as an investor. So the next video, I'll be talking a little bit more about this, but in a different spin. So we'll see you next time. Thanks.